pinching them off of their life force, which is our divine right to receive life force. So a human that doesn't understand that and is just doing the best they can, they may have a lot of breathing, they might have a lot of congestion, they may have like allergies, things that keep coming up that they don't even understand how to get rid of it, because it's not something that medicine's going to cure. It's not like, here, just go take a pill. And I feel like that in itself is a program that it would serve humanity to awaken from, is this program of, don't take your power back. Don't actually tune in to figure out what's going on yourself. Just go to someone outside of you and ask them to give you a pill. And they'll give you plenty. Here, that doesn't feel good. Take this pill for that. Oh, that pill makes you feel sleepy. Here, take this pill for that. Oh, that one keeps you too wired. Here, I got another pill for that. Next thing we know, we are addicted to these pharmaceutical medicines, and we have lost our power completely. We have given it over. And it's something to be really aware of, that we are giving it over. No one's making us, but there's programming. Like if we think of like an implant in us that is squeezing us off, we get panicky, we get nervous, we don't know what to do, and we call in the assistance from the programming. And that programming keeps us looping in this like, I'm helpless, I'm hopeless, I'm helpless, I'm hopeless, I'm broken, I can't fix myself. All lies. Every one of those programs that any of you, if you've heard that in your mind, it's a lie. And I'm going to challenge anyone who will listen, because my job here is to just be a messenger of truth. Your jobs are each to be open and receptive to that truth and to discern it and to allow it in or not. And so if you don't have any intention as someone listening to this to actually find healing and alignment and happiness, and you want to keep being a part of a program that keeps you in sickness, dysfunction, victimization, by all means, feel free to continue with that. But I'm going to keep speaking the truth to any and all who are listening, because I feel this is such a huge and important catalyst for our evolution as humanity, for us to actually really shift in a powerful way. We all need to understand that there are energetic influences that are happening that many of us may not be aware of, may not even understand them in a very logical way, but it's worth tuning into. And so for me, I tuned in and I just was clearing that very consciously with my guides and my angels. And now I've been more aware and focused in auric clearings for any clients that are wanting these implants removed. I'm here to help you. And for any of you that can sense something that I'm saying, the wisdom of what I'm sharing sounds right, and it feels like something is really, resonating with you, I encourage you to contact myself or another healer you trust to help you with that, to help you to see the unconscious. Because when we're, like the quote I just read, people do not see their beliefs. Instead, their beliefs tell them what to see. So if we are operating under this influence of an implant and there's programming there, we're doing the best we can, but we're not seeing truth. We're seeing what the belief systems are telling us to see. Yeah, so this is going to be a tricky thing unless you have someone assisting you that is going to see the unconscious aspects of yourself that you don't want to see. So this is just something that I feel is really important to share. And can we clear these programs and can we clear these implants? Absolutely. And you have free will. This is your body. This is your life. This is your life force. And what I've been shown is that these implants and these entities and these energies that I have seen visually are squeezing off many humans and animals' life force. And kind of like if you want to think of it as like harvesting off of their energy. So if they get, let's say we have a couple people in a relationship and they have implants, and there's like beings, and I'm just going to say beings and not give them a name, but just beings that are observing them, almost like laboratory experiment. They're observing them, and they're observing if we stimulate this one in their solar plexus, and we kind of pinch that off and we ignite fear in the belly, and then watch how it triggers a reaction, and how this one gets triggered in the heart, and the heart feels heavy and burdened. And notice how they kind of start feeding off each other energetically, and it creates drama and pain body. And so now the two characters, the two humans, are creating this drama experience, And these beings are kind of harvesting off of the fear emotional body, from the fearful energy that they're giving off. All those emotions are fueling them. And so I know this sounds sci-fi, but I encourage you to test me on it. Start asking for confirmation. Ask for synchronistic events to come in to help you. And if you truly desire liberation, freedom, and enlightenment, awakening, and you desire to be self-realized, to be free and truly in your own power, to own your own life force, I encourage you to tune in and ask your guides, your highest self, for more understanding of this. Ask for the confirmation. That's what I do all the time. Bring me clarity, bring me confirmation. And so when I was doing these healing sessions, and then I'm being shown this radio show with this guy who's removing implants, and how everything he's saying is the same stuff that I've been experiencing and that I've been helping people with, it's worth paying attention to. One of the things that I saw was I had a vision where I saw my beloved, and there were beings, like these galactic beings were observing us. And in my mind's eye, I saw them and I could hear what they were saying. It was like there was no filter, that I was completely aware of their presence, completely aware of what they were doing. And I talked to him about it. And at first, I think it kind of scared him, because nobody wants to know that they got something, affecting them. But when he really tuned in on it, he said he's felt it the whole time. He's felt this awareness. And so we did an auric clearing and cleared those out of him. And we felt some shifts happen right away. And it's helping him take back his power and be more liberated with his life force. Now, all of us have this ability to do this, but like he basically reached out for me to help him with that, because he wasn't really sure what to do to get rid of it. And I was like, hey, I can help you. This is what I'm doing. So I encourage you all to kind of tune in on that. If you had a lot of drama, and basically you sense a pattern in the drama that you keep experiencing, if you have some physical thing going on in your body right now that you have no clue why it's there, but it feels off to you, these are all signs to pay attention to of us waking up to more that's going on. The more I wake up and the more I ask for truth, the more my mind is expanded. And so a big part of our evolution and our coming into our power and into our wholeness is staying in that place where we continue to open ourselves up to forever receive more and more wisdom and understanding. If we don't stay open in that place, this is when a lot of us, we are operating from the program or the implant. We are very limited in our thinking. We are very fearful in our thinking. We're very shut down. This is all there is. This is what the rules are. This is the programming. If I'm speaking to you on the show right now and you're hearing this, and some part of your voice is kind of like, in resistance to me, and it's just like, oh, I don't want to hear that. It's like, she's crazy. That is also programming, because your higher self, if it's projecting that and it's resistant in such a way that it's shutting down truth, that is programming. And so this is where it becomes tricky, because we're now seeing from our belief systems, only letting our belief system show us what is, instead of allowing the true wholeness to come through. There's been so many experiences. If you just think of like the most rigid religious people who have had this deep belief that their God's the only God, and like then they go through some experience that really enlightens them and shows them the error of their ways, and shows them that we're all very painful, because that human is only able to see life through their belief system. So let's say, like, if I was Mormon and I'm raised in a certain way to only believe these certain beliefs, and I believe women are a certain way and that men treat women a certain way, I can only see from that belief system, that programming, and the programming will tell me what to see. So then let's say you're that Mormon and you have this spiritual woman come along that's very free, and she's very connected, and there's no limitations, there's no rules or boundaries that say what she can have or what she has to do to earn that love. It's going to challenge that human, because that very presence of that light, that consciousness coming in, is going to create a catalyst for change. In my soul, I know this is what I've done with many humans. There are people, in the last 2 days, I've had dreams where one of the dreams, I it was kind of strange. I shot into this yoga studio, and I just went with my beloved to experience a sound bath with crystal bowls, and it was amazing. And it was this beautiful experience. Well, in my dream that night, my car went crashing through the wall of this yoga studio, and I couldn't stop it. And I felt so apologetic, like, I am so sorry if my vehicle kind of disrupted any of you. And literally, it was a vehicle, which was interesting because I really feel it was symbolic of our own light body, our own vehicle. And in the vision, in my dream, my headlights were on really bright, and they were shining in the room. And there were people I could sense very judgmental. I could just pick up on their emotional body, and they were judgmental, and they were angry that how dare her show up in here in this way, and lights too bright. And I immediately in the dream was like, oh, I need to dim my lights. I'm so sorry. And when I woke up in the morning, I was processing that, and I was like, you know what? No, I am done. I am so done dimming my light for people who can handle truth. I am so done with trying to tweak myself. Let me dress for them. Let me act the way they need me to act. Let me turn my light down a little bit. Let me turn down my happiness a little bit so I can match you vibrationally and be a little more depressed with you. I am done with that because that is not what makes that is not what brings Tanya Love joy. And so if any of you can relate to that at times where you feel like you had to dim your light to actually be around certain people, or you had to kind of turn down your happiness, you had to act a little more ignorant so that they would accept you. Oh, let me pretend I'm a little dumber so that they actually think they're smarter and then they'll accept me. This is so not fun, and it doesn't feel good, and that is programming. And this is part of what in my dream I realized after that sound bath, which was very vibrational. The frequencies of those crystal bowls created a lot of vibrational frequency shifts in me and in everyone there. And I feel like that was the gift that experience brought me. Was in my dream state, I was being shown how I immediately, out of like a reactive place, wanted to adjust my light and dim it so that I didn't intimidate others. I didn't cause them to feel uncomfortable with my presence. That is what I was clearing from my program. So if we're very present with our dreams and we're paying attention to them, and if we're really focused on our inner work, we can do this on our own, because I do this on my own. So I'm not trying to at all let anybody out there think that you can't do this on your own. You absolutely can. However, many of you, because you're not very disciplined and you're not very conscious of it, you might need help with a healer or a guide or a mentor, a beloved, whatever it is that you need, you'll call that in. And so sometimes us being in a state of receptivity to allow others to help us can be really beneficial. So anyway, that's an example of how I had that dream with the lights, and it's very symbolic. And Tanya's like, you know what? We're done dimming our light. I'm done being around people who are sick and martyrdom and who are playing victims, and me pretending that I need to be quiet about that and that I need to feel bad about knowing that I have solution. I can share that solution. If others don't want it, that's fine. But I don't need to feel like something's wrong with me for knowing how there is a solution. And I feel like that's something we each have to get comfortable with. It's like the Marianne Williamson quote about, it's not our fears. Our greatest fear is not our weakness, it's our power. And I feel like that is so true. So many of us are terrified of taking back our power. It is so easy to be a victim. It's not comfortable, but it's like the easy path. It requires nothing of us. It requires no work, no awareness, no consciousness. Hey, that's kind of easy. I'll just be a victim and blame everybody else for all my problems. Somebody comes along and tries to enlighten me and help me. Oh, let's blame her too. It's really crazy. And if we do that, is it really serving our evolution, or is it actually keeping us stuck? And if anything, every bit of help that comes along, we're pushing it away. And it's because we cannot see beyond our own belief system. So I'm going to take a little pause and see if anybody has anything they'd like to share on that. And then I want to read something else to you. So anything coming in, Amnon?
No, not yet.
Okay. So if anybody wants to write in, you can share any kind of, maybe you've had these experiences, maybe you're aware of what I'm talking about with the implanting or programming, or maybe you just think I'm completely mad and you want to challenge me. Bring it. Look, whatever you want